So, it's nice to meet everyone. My name is Cameron Snow. Today, we're going to be getting into Google Ads and how you can actually go ahead and leverage Google Ads to send traffic to your store and also high intent traffic to your store as well. So, it's very important to understand that Google Ads are an intent-based platform. What that means is that you need to have traffic at your top of funnel, and that you need to have people searching for either your name or your books. So you must have that top of funnel, but it can be a great ROI at the bottom of funnel. So bottom of funnel are people that are very familiar with you or have already purchased from you as well. So how can you actually use Google Ads for your business? So you can use it in these three ways. So you can harness the power of search intent. You can also convert readers that are actually looking for you or looking for your books. And you can go ahead and do this by leveraging a Google Ads Performance Max campaign, which we're going to get into all of this. So before we get into this, why should you trust me? Well, my name is Cameron Snow. I always do want to preface, I'm not an author. I have never written a book, maybe in the future, but I do love marketing. And over the past 4 years, I've been very fortunate to have worked with over 500 different brands in over 300 different niches, spent advised on over $60 million in ad spend across Facebook, Google, TikTok, and Snapchat ads, helping with pretty much anything that would overall optimize a business for scaling and for revenue. And through this time, it's been very, very fun. Loved it, all the ups, the downs, everything. Also made a lot of mistakes, and I want to go ahead and share those with you that hopefully you can get to where you want to get to much quicker. So before we jump into that, I just want to share the 3 essential rules of every single business that I've seen that's been successful. The first one is kind of like cliche, it's kind of obvious, but it's never tell yourself you're not good at something. This is something that held me back for a while, and it's kind of more of one of those things where it's like, if you ever tell yourself, maybe I'm not good at technology, or I'm not good at like running ads. If you ever tell yourself that, it makes it so difficult to ever get good at it. So I would always just recommend to just whatever you tell yourself that, try to maybe take a little bit of time to watch a YouTube video, learn it real quick. You'd be surprised at like how quickly you can learn things if you really put your mind to it. And if you believe that you actually can do it, it makes things a lot easier in the future. The second is going to be committing and sticking with your strategies. So if you're ever starting something new, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's a little hard at the very beginning, and then it starts to get a lot harder. Typically when it starts to get a lot harder, it's like right when you're on the edge of figuring it out. And you don't want to like jump to the next thing. You just want to stick through it and keep going with it. And obviously take into account the best people that are doing it and try to learn from them. And typically right when you're on the edge, that's when you're going to reap the reward of what you've been looking through. The third is simplicity scales and complexity fails. Every single time I see this with a business is if you have too many variables, you're trying to go for like 10 different traffic sources, it makes it very difficult to know what's working. So I would recommend to always keep things very simple when you're scaling. You have a much higher chance of success in the future. So jumping into Google Ads. So understanding Google Ads are bottom of funnel. So people that have already either heard of you or they have purchased from you, and they're intent-based. People use Google to find things. If you looked up something on Google and the exact opposite thing showed up, it'd be kind of pointless. So you got to think that when people are looking you up, they're using Google to find you. So if they're looking up your pen name, they want to find you. So that's when you want to show up, or your books. That means that the more relevant the Google ad is, meaning if they look up your pen name and you show up, that's good. That's what we want to do. The more relevant it matches the user's search, the better. So for Facebook, when you think about that, has everyone ran Facebook ads in here? Pretty much? Okay, cool. Creative is everything. Creative is what hooks attention. For Google, the relevance with the words are the most important thing. As long as your words are relevant, that's all that matters. So Google Ads, yes, they're a bottom of funnel approach. So when you think about Facebook, you think about top of funnel. You're reaching out to people to actually find them to bring them into your funnel. And so you need that. If your top of funnel is not strong, it doesn't drive readers to actually search for you or your books, your Google Ads won't be nearly as effective. A majority of the time, the Facebook ads will drive the purchases if you're sending them to your store. But with our Google Ads, they're there to pick up the readers that maybe see an ad, and then they go to Google, search you up, or they've already purchased from you, they're searching you up, looking to find you again, and that's when we can go ahead and capture them with those Google Ads. So going into the Google Ads basics, you're essentially what you're doing is you're paying to show up in front of people that are searching for your books, your pen name. Like it's pretty simple once you break it down to that. Relevance is key to your success, and you want to go ahead and target the audiences when they're actively searching for you, and you do that with the actual words. We're going to get into all this too. So with Google, there are 6 different campaign types. You have a search campaign, which everyone's seen. It's whenever you search anything up, you see the little sponsored. I'm going to get examples of all these. Performance max, display, shopping, video, and demand gen, 6. So search, by far the most popular. What you're going to go ahead and see. Yeah, you can take a picture. I'll get into these in a minute. So with search, so you can see here, this is a search campaign. Everyone's seen these. If you ever look anything up on Google, you could see we looked up pen name, immediately showed up. Very first thing. So that's going to the homepage. You can also see down here, we have these site links. These are when you're building out your Performance Max campaign, which I have something at the end that's going to help you with building all this stuff out. But these are at the bottom here. These are going to specific links. So this is going to the 30-book Dragon Kings bundle, because these are what we're advertising, so we want that to be as relevant as possible when people search up the pen name. You'd be very surprised when you're running Facebook sales ads. I don't know if you have ran that. A lot of people will go and search you up and look for your books as well. So that's where Google Ads can play in. You can see here, we're scaling with this single offer right here. And so we don't have the site links, we just have this offer. You can see it's showing up in front of, on top of like the famous part of like who the person is. You can see that the ads are showing up on top because the ads always show up at the top, no matter what. So that's what you're paying for, making sure that we're capturing those people because we're scaling with Facebook ads. That helps these people find the offer very simply. So a search campaign, to its simplicity, show up when people search for you. You're targeting keywords. People are looking up your most popular books or any of your books and your pen name. That's it. It's going to increase your visibility for potential readers that may be looking for you on Amazon. What we see though, if someone really wants to buy a book on Amazon, they're going to get it from Amazon. There's no really stopping that. And that's totally fine. That's like completely fine. It's still acquiring you a reader, which is great. That's the entire goal of all of this. And so if they're going to get it from Amazon, let them get it from Amazon. Totally fine. That's why we don't want to scale this too far and force an impression onto people. You just want to have your Google ads be there. And we're going to get into budgets and all that. You want to have your Google ads be there. If they are going to purchase from your site, this is just an extra way that they can. So the next one is going to be display ads. So these are going to be images. You've definitely seen display ads. If you're on any website on Google ever, it's those images that are popping up everywhere. They're kind of annoying, honestly, but they're an ad. So it's going to help with grabbing attention. It also, what it does is what we typically see is if you're running Facebook ads, it's going to serve as an extra impression that can help boost your Facebook sales. So maybe someone won't purchase from these display ads, but it's going to be in the back of their mind, maybe if they see your Facebook ad later and they've seen a few of your display ads, it's going to go ahead and serve as an extra impression, be much more likely to purchase from your Facebook sales ads. This is if you have the pixel, which I'm going to show you how to set up the pixel and everything at the end. They're also going to follow users across the web that have been to your website. So if anyone's ever been to your website, you're able to track that just like you would with a Facebook pixel. Google has a similar type of way to track that, and it's going to follow users across the site, leads to great brand exposure. Here's an example of display ads. You've definitely seen them across websites. They're in tons of different like styles, sizes, all that type of stuff. They come up in tons of different ways. So that is Google display ads. The next one is going to be shopping ads and the actual Google Merchant Center. So what the Google Merchant Center is if you have a commerce platform, the commerce platform, if it's like WooCommerce or Shopify, integrates really great with Shopify, but it will actually pull your products from the store completely for free and promotes them on Google Shopping. If you think about Google Shopping, it's just like another Amazon because Google, again, wants to be as relevant as possible. And so if you look something up, they're going to have Google Shopping just there as another way for people to buy. Pulls those off for free. You don't have to pay for any of that. Yep.
Do a Google search, click on shopping?
I'll show you an example. It'll show up before that actually. Yeah. Right now it only supports paperbacks. They're trying to open up with ebooks. I believe it's in January. So they're opening up with ebooks soon. And you can also have sponsored books through here, just as like the form of an ad, just like the same with having a sponsored book on Amazon. Same type of thing, just shows up at the top as well. So you can see here, we're looking up the actual book series. You can see here, all of these are sponsored. So it's actually showing up above a search ad, the Amazon search ad. And so that's another way. Obviously, these are all, it looks like some of the audiobooks got pulled through. Typically, they don't support it, but sometimes you can get through. But yeah, there's the paperbacks right there for the exact series. And you can also see it'll show up on that right-hand side too sometimes. They just split test in terms of what works the best. Now, the next one's going to be YouTube ads. And we're still trying to crack into the YouTube ad space right now. I'm going to be honest, haven't cracked it yet in terms of getting sales on there and being able to scale it. But billions of users are on YouTube. Everyone's on YouTube pretty much. And you have two different types of ads here. So these are skippable ads. That's the one where it takes like 5 seconds. You click on skip. That's one of them. And then you have the non-skippable. And you also have, obviously, YouTube Shorts, which YouTube Shorts is new on its own. And they just opened up their ad placement pretty recently. That's why it's kind of hard right now. But the YouTube Shorts ad, if you've ever seen YouTube Shorts, it's the same thing as like the TikTok ad or Instagram Reel ad. It's that 9:16 format. And so if you have anything that's working great on TikTok ads or Instagram ads, you could toss it in there as well. And those are some examples of them, in-stream, and then the YouTube Shorts. You can see YouTube Shorts right there in the middle. And then, yeah, if you ever can post, by the way, for organic, it's like outside of Google Ads, if you ever post your top performing TikToks or Instagram Reels just on YouTube Shorts, it's just extra impressions that's completely free. And some of them just like take off out of nowhere. And so I would just try it, just toss them on there if they've done well on the other platforms. The next one's gonna be discovery ads and demand gen. I also do want to preface that search is like 90% of everyone's campaign. People are searching, and so that's where a lot of this campaign comes from. These are kind of just extra impressions that will show up. I just want to give some preface on the other campaigns. So these discovery ads, these will show up across Gmail, YouTube, and Google Discovery. You can see here on that right-hand side, if you've ever been on the desktop looking at YouTube, there's that type of ad right there that'll show up. You can also see when you're scrolling through YouTube, if you've ever seen the images in YouTube now, this is like a newer placement. They'll also show up right there. That's not a video. That's just an image of products. This is Google Discovery. I've never used Google Discovery, but some people do. It's like news and stuff like that. And then you also have in Gmail as well. So all of these campaigns, you got 6 different campaign types. What do? Well, we run a performance max campaign. That's this one right here. And what this campaign is going to go ahead and do is it is going to consolidate every single campaign structure all into one campaign. So you could take all of your assets and put them into one campaign, and it makes it very easy to essentially, it leverages their, like the Google AI as it's scaling, their scaling platform, to be able to just continue to get better over time, and it's very, very easy to set up. And it will go across every single placement and see what drives the most sales, what gets the most engagement, and it will get better over time to give you a higher conversion rate to send better traffic to your store. And it only takes about like 1 to 2 hours to set up too. So what we need is I'm going to go through each of these just as an example of what you can go ahead and grab for each of these. But 20 images, 2 to 5 variations of your logo, 5 videos, not as essential. The main thing is going to be the images and the words, but 15 headlines, 30 characters or less, 5 long headlines, 90, and 5 descriptions. So, images. The important rules to follow, what we've seen that's worked best with images is make sure that it's known that it's a book. So at least have either the book cover on there, have the book as an ebook platform or an ebook format on there, and then if your cover does grab a lot of attention, it has like words on the cover that's going to grab a lot of attention, you could just put the cover up. If it doesn't, you can also go ahead and add in like a popular highlight next to it and as words next to the cover, or you could put in an actual like 5-star review right there. Paperbacks also work great with these too. Just like that sponsored shopping ad, where it's just like, you just want to keep those very raw, very authentic. Just lay out the books, take a picture, people love it, and it's very authentic. You can put those up there as well. And then typically you want to take your 2 to 5 most popular single books. If people are searching these up as the actual book name, you can also put these up just as a very simple square image. Typically you want to do that as the ones that you're running in your Facebook sales ads, or if you're running traffic ads, either way, I would put those up there as well. For YouTube Shorts, all you have to do, they're not essential for the Performance Max to perform. Search is everything, which can be the words, which we can get into in a sec. But you can go ahead and just literally take your TikToks, Instagram Reels, anything like that, post them on YouTube. You grab the link, and you'll be able to just drop it into the Google Ads campaign. It's pretty simple. And so this is where it gets very important. So with that search campaign, the homepage, that's the main short headline. So that's what we're going to be using. What you want to do, the general rule of thumb is to keep them short and sweet, just very short and sweet. Highlight a unique selling point about your books, maybe best-selling author. You can't use like copyrighted words, so like Amazon you can't use, USA Today, New York Times. There's just a few rules. They'll tell you if it won't go through, and they'll just say like fix it. But you can just highlight some unique selling points about your books. Make sure to at least incorporate your pen name into half of them, because when people are looking up your pen name, you want to show up first. And that's how you can do that. And then you can also make sure to go ahead and add in genre, tropes, or popular series. And make sure you're trying to keep these around what would people look up if they were looking for you on the internet. Because you want to keep it as relevant as possible to what they would be looking up. It's all about relevancy. Now for long headlines, what you want to go ahead and do is you just start with some key elements. So make sure to include your pen name in there, some titles of your top performing books, the genre. You got 90 characters here, so you can kind of make it a little bit longer. These are kind of more of supporting. And so you can also highlight some unique selling points in here too. Again, best-selling author, top 100, people will obviously know what that would mean. And then you can also incorporate some enticing offers, enticing specific offers. That's where it comes into bundle deals, percentages off, showing also, including relevant keywords, but ad matching. Things like having the paperbacks, having audiobooks, showing the format of the books, anything like that, as long as it's relevant to what people are searching. That's why you want to keep it around your pen name and your top performing books. Now, what are some descriptions that sell? Reviews work great. These are they're quite a bit smaller than like the long headlines. They're kind of just supporting the long headline. So reviews are great. Mention your trope and genre. A lot of these people see these subconsciously. And so you just want to, again, just make it relevant to you. If you could just think about that the entire time when you're setting this up, makes it so much easier, and it works. And then value adds to your book. Again, over a certain amount of copies sold, top seller, best selling, any of that type of stuff works. So for audience targeting, Facebook or Google actually just changed this recently, where you used to have to add in a ton of different keywords. Now you literally just have to add in 10 to 25 relevant keywords. Literally all you can do is just like your pen name, books, your pen name, maybe your top selling book, your pen name, and then just like your best-selling series, or just your best-selling series, or your best-selling book, anything that would be relevant to you. Just try to think about what your readers would be searching if they're looking for you online, and that's all you have to go ahead and do. There's also a checkbox right there. It's very hard to miss, and it literally says include data from website visitors and customers. You can go ahead and just select that checkbox, and then you can also add in interests and demographics. This is not like Facebook, where it's not really based on interests and demographics. Demographics, you can go ahead and put in age, gender that you're targeting, but interests, it's much more broad. It's all based on the actual words that you're using within those custom segments. And then from there, you literally just start it with between 5 to 10. You can even start at like $3 per day budget. Typically, we do about around a 20th of whatever your Facebook budget is. So whatever your top of funnel is, this is kind of just catching that bottom of funnel that's looking you up. And so you just want to make sure you have top of funnel traffic to your site. and just maintain relevance for effective Google ads. And so that's kind of like how you can go ahead and set that up. I did put together a free course of how you can actually like, it goes through building out your Google campaign. It's also gonna go through Shopify, BookFunnel, Facebook, organic content, all that type of stuff. It's like 5 hours, totally free. I just put in your email. And then it's the Google one's coming next week. And then it also has a direct sales support bot. This is new. You can just like ask it questions. It's gonna go ahead and answer questions for you. It's trained on a bunch of like content as well about direct sales. And so yeah, you can go ahead and ask it that. And yeah, I think we're finished up a little early, but I'd love to take some questions. There's a lot, so yeah, cool. Thank you. Awesome. Cool. I'll keep that up.
Hi, thanks for the talk. That's
Yeah.
great. I just had a question. You mentioned something about evaluating the Performance Max ads and looking at the conversion rates. What do you mean by that, especially since these are more brand awareness ads?
So they are, you will be able to set these up if you do have a store. You can set them up to actually track sales. And typically just like the easiest way to track sales is just looking at what you're spending versus what you're making back. If you don't have a store, you can run them as traffic, and they still will be relevant to whatever your keywords are. But if you are running, say like traffic ads on Facebook, I would just try to stick with having it go to Amazon, because obviously the traffic are sending them to Amazon. So I run the Amazon search ads. If people are looking up your pen name, then they're going to Amazon still, just so it's still relevant. Yeah. Oh.
Hi. I'm not sure if I understood the Google Merchant Center. You said that it only supported paperbacks, but it's coming from our store.
Yes.
So if we have I wonder if you mean by that it also supports hardcover?
Yes.
Okay, so it's
Sorry,
a
yeah.
physical book that
Any
we're
physical book,
sending.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have a recommended like monthly search volume that we should have for our name or our books before we start running Google ads?
It's what we've really gone off is just based off of spend in terms of whatever you're spending on your top of funnel. You just go like a 20th of that. You could probably look. There's got to be apps to look at search volume for your name. And I mean, even if you have like 100 people searching up, you could definitely run it at like $1 to $2 per day. And if it can drive 1 to 2 sales per day extra and just serve as an extra brand awareness, it's gonna help for sure. Yeah.
Can I ask another?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we got.
Okay. Do you recommend having variants on your Shopify store or having separate products for the ebooks and print?
Yes. So the best, all Shopify stores is like keeping it as simple as possible for your customers. And so I would recommend to have an ebook category, paperback category, and then audiobooks as well. And then on each of those products, have variants for each of the products as well, just so it's as simple as possible to, yeah, exactly. That way, if they're looking for paperbacks, they go to the product and then they decide, oh, I want to try out the ebook first and just get that first. It's super easy for them. You just want to make it as easy as possible for the customer. And don't worry about site speed as well. Your site speed starts to go down then? That question a lot. Yeah. Cool.
It was a great presentation. Thank you.
Yeah.
What would be a conversion rate for a purchase on an author's website that authors should be aiming for?
Yes.
Like, what is a good conversion rate for a book purchase?
Yeah, totally. So it can vary by ads, because if your ads are, I won't get into the data, but I would say as general as possible, a 3% is great. You can scale. I've seen it scale very, very far to 3%. Yeah.
One more question,
Yeah, totally.
if that works. In terms of Google ads over the past few years, what would you say kind of some of the biggest changes have been, whether it's CPCs or like, different formats? What has kind of been the biggest shift you've seen?
Yeah, totally. So I would say, obviously, in terms of advertising, I've been in advertising for a while. Not as much in Google. It's been a lot more on Facebook. Costs are just going to go up naturally, I would say. I've only been in the author space for like 8 months, and so I've noticed that it's, I mean, we kind of just started running Google ads because we were like, we got the top of funnel traffic, and so people are going to be searching. Might as well have it there. And so what I would really say is that you don't want to scale it, because if people are going to buy on Amazon, they're going to buy on Amazon. That's probably the main rule that we've seen. So just keeping it minimal. I wouldn't look at too much of the data. I would just look at what you're spending versus what it's making back. It's the main thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Oh, is it? Yeah, for sure.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said put the keywords in.
Yes.
Now, we have learned for Amazon
Yes.
keywords that you can put them in any order, any way, and it figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
But then you said put like the author name and the title, and then the author name and this. Like, do you have? How do you put the
Gotcha.
keywords in? Do they mix them up? Like, how does that work?
Yes. So it takes into consideration all the keywords, any of them that you use.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I can explain that better in terms of what I meant is like author name and then book, or pen name and then book within the same keyword. And then you can also just do pen name, and then
Is it like on a like? I know you set mine up, but I'm like I can't
Yeah.
remember. Is it like on a row? Do you put a comma?
it's
Do you
it's
need
just
a-
hit enter and then it just drops into the next one. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to put it in.
Yeah.
But you don't have any like. You said 10 to 25 keywords.
Yeah.
So what's considered a word? Is it the whole thing?
The whole
or is
thing.
it-
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, so not just like you can only do 10 because I'm like, how would you put in all your?
Yes. Phrases. Phrases.
Oh,
Yes. Thank
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one more question, if that's okay. YouTube ads,
Yes.
do you run that through Google Ads, or do you have to set up an account on YouTube to run ads?
So you just need a YouTube account, and then once you have that, to post the video, and then you just grab the link and drop it into the account. It's like in the Performance Max, it says videos. You click on the videos, and it put the link in, and it gives you your video right there. And you click on it, and then it drops into your campaign for you.
So is there a way to separate to know what your YouTube ads are doing versus like what your search traffic ads are doing, or?
There's no way to see what's driving sales yet with the
Okay.
Performance Max, but it will tell you what is performing best in terms of their idea of performance. It'll say like best performance, you can rank it by that. And sometimes in some Google accounts it says the videos are doing the best. Sometimes it's a certain image, sometimes it's a certain phrase that people are looking up. It's really just taking into consideration all of the assets, and it's like, what can we drive the most sales with? And it's just putting the combinations together to see what works best.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
Couple from me. First of all, basing it on prior traffic, I assume you need to have Google Analytics on your site for that to work.
Yes. So that's that would be like another hour-long talk of just like Google Analytics.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And also, if nobody's bidding on our names yet, do you have a ballpark figure for what a decent cost per click might be?
So that's where I would look to get the top funnel traffic first. I would go after some form of, either Facebook, organic content, anything else that you can get on that top of funnel to be able to get people to start searching. I wouldn't try to like bid on individual
Well, no, I'm
keywords.
saying if you have search traffic for your name,
Yeah.
but if you search on Google and you aren't seeing anybody bidding, as competition,
Yes. Yeah.
uh,
It should be a
Is
lot
there-
cheaper then at that point.
is it like, what are we talking about, like 5 cents, or are we talking about like?
Yeah, for a
30?
cost per click, it's typically gonna be around like between 30 to 60, I'd say.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
even if nobody's bidding on your
Mm-hmm.
name, wow.
Yeah, because even with that, even with looking that up, they typically know who else is in there, and Amazon's probably going to bid because they see that the pen name is on Amazon, so then Amazon's going to push an ad there sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
so that can raise it. But yeah, typically around there, it could be less. So I would just try to test
Give
it
it a
out.
shot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Hello, that was very informative. Thank you. I've
Awesome,
made
yeah.
a lot of notes very fast.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't a stupid question, but where are you actually sending them from these? Can you send them straight to Amazon, or do they have to go via your website if you're not doing direct sales?
Yes, so it would have to go to your website. If you're sending them to Amazon, Amazon does have ads for search to actually get people onto your Amazon, and that should be ran through the Amazon ads platform. And so if you're not doing direct sales yet, I would just go ahead and send them or set up the Amazon ads. It's essentially the same thing. I haven't jumped into Amazon because I'm more on the direct side, but yeah, you would need that direct sales store first to have that.
You could use the Google ads to send them to your website, then the website to send them to Amazon.
Yes, you could. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, just making sure that it's as relevant as possible for your pen name, and as long as that, then Google's gonna be fine with sending the traffic there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you for
Yeah.
the class. It was very interesting. When you're doing pay per click, if you have the same person clicking on your click, are you getting charged each time that person clicks?
Not really, because you have a certain budget per day. So if you have a $5 budget per day, and someone clicks like, say 100 times theoretically, and it was what would that, like a 5 cent cost per 20? I can't do math right now. But anyways, if it was like a really low cost per click, it would just show for that day a very low cost per click, but you wouldn't pay more.
Okay.
It's annoying. We haven't seen anyone do it yet. So it wouldn't charge you more though, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
somebody's trying to sabotage your.
No, yeah, we haven't seen that yet.
Campaign.
And we ran a
Okay.
lot of Google campaigns.
Okay.
That'd be pretty annoying, but yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
So that's
thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. You want to have any questions? Awesome. Cool. I think that's it. We'll just end early. That works. Cool. Awesome. Thank you.